How's everyone doing this morning, this afternoon, or evening, depending on where you might be located on the planet. Today we're going to be doing another round of 60-second strategies, which is something we started a couple of weeks back, where we were doing really fast channel reviews, 60 seconds, picking channels right out of the chat and taking a look at your channels. And one of the reasons this week I thought this was a good idea is when it comes to growing YouTube channels, we really don't have, pardon my squeaky chair today, get the WD-40, Megan. When it comes to growing channels, we really only have seconds to make a good impression on people. People decide whether or not they're going to watch our content, if they're going to engage with our channels in seconds. So that viewer experience is ultimately important. If we can make sure that the things we do on our channel have a positive experience, that the channel really represents a strong value proposition, that we're optimizing our channels in a way that get the viewer engaged, this can really help us grow our channels more rapidly. So pulling up channels quickly, giving 60 seconds on the clock, and really seeing immediately the kind of things that I think might be hurting a channel or distracting from the value proposition of that channel is important, so that you can get a quick perspective on how other people see you before they've had a chance to engage and dive down the hole of all of your content. Because we'd like to think that people do that they see our channels and go, give us a chance, get in, watch some content. I promise once you watch a few, you'll see how great I am. But the reality is like my buddy Brian G. Johnson says, YouTube is kind of like ADHD TV. People give you like 2 seconds and then they're off. If they're not totally down the rabbit hole with you, they'll just find another channel and watch something else. So we're going to be looking at these channels today. Is that my friend Alex? Is he in there? Hey, pal. Thank you for the super sticker there, the super chat, my friend. Good morning. How are you? Look at that little sunshine he's got going on. Alex is probably out on one of his kayaks while we speak, fishing, doing that thing. It's good to see you. Mr. Doug Hewson in the house. Always a pleasure to see you, Doug, as well as A+ Russian. Good to see you, too. So listen, Megan, are you over there? Megan, say hi to the nice people today.
Hello, everyone.
All right. I hope you can hear everything all right today. Sometimes we're working through issues. We don't usually have Megan on camera or even on microphone, so we're always figuring this one out. So if everything sounds good, let us know. If it doesn't sound good, let us know, and we'll do our best to make things happen. So listen, we're going to be pulling channels right from the chat. And don't just say, hey, look at my channel. If you have something specific to say to me that can gain our attention, if you say I've been struggling with thumbnails, or I've been struggling with how to get my playlists optimized, or titles are a problem, something that makes me feel that you're really paying attention, you're probably more likely to be grabbed from the chat rather than just pick me. But really, it could be anyone from the chat. So if you have a channel you'd like to pull up here and have 60 seconds on the clock to see what we see, let me know, and we will, and we'll take a look. Let me see. The first one that Megan has pulled out is A+ Russian. Hey, see, we said hello, and there you are. There was a question. My community is under 1,000, but I am struggling to reach 4,000 watched hours of watch time. My videos are between 3 and 7 minutes long. Is that why? Daniel has built his channel on shorter videos. So any advice? Well, direct advice right off the bat, and I'll pull up your channel and we'll take a look. You'll be our first 60-second victim. The thing that I would tell you is I did build my channel on shorter videos, but I did it for a very specific reason, A+ Russian, and that is because I learned that when I was deciding to build my channel, which did video editing tutorials, I thought a lot of them just took forever to get to the point. It seemed like they weren't fun, they were boring, they were 15, 20 minutes long. To learn how to do simple video editing techniques so you could make videos for YouTube and build a channel. So my approach was different. I wanted them to be more fun. I wanted them to be, have some kind of entertainment value to them. And I just wanted to get to the point. I wanted to cut out all the fluff. So that was my angle. It was very intentional for that reason. Do I make longer content? Yeah, sometimes I do. The newer stuff I'm doing that really broaches the subject of growing YouTube channels using the kind of videos that you build is longer than the original stuff. But I don't ever think it's the length of the video that matters. 3 to 7 minutes. I'll tell you that if you have strong content that speaks to the needs of the viewer and immediately grabs their attention and keeps them watching, That's the trick. That's really the trick, because people either understand what the content is about and want to engage and enjoy the content, or they don't. And they'll let you know very quickly by not really paying attention and not watching the videos and not having very long retention. So let me quickly pull over your channel here. Okay, let me add this to the stream. And there we go. We got A+ Russian. So, Megan, are you ready with 60 seconds here, my friend?
We are ready when you are.
All right, let me go full screen and put 60 seconds. Let me do this. Let me go this way and put 60 seconds on the clock for me, if you would.
And 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, when I look at the channel art, it says learn Russian, support Ukraine. I like the fact that you got support Ukraine in there currently because of the war going on. I understand that. So normally I'd say that that distracts from your value prop, but I understand why you did it. I also see IO2. I don't know what this means right here. So this is distracting to me. You're pushing a lot towards the Ukraine Crisis Relief Fund. I like that you're doing that. I support that cause. But I do think that I don't know if I absolutely understand all the stopwatches. I have stopwatches here because we're doing 60-second reviews. But I like that it says learn Russian. Outside of that, I don't know if it screams learning Russian. I left Russia for a reason. Now your very first video talks about why you left Russia, so it's not about learning Russian. Now you're talking about your personal journey. That's distractive to me. Speak Russian like a native. I love that this is right here. Learn Russian with stories. Maybe that's it. You're trying to relate through stories. The one thing I would say is frozen to freedom. I don't understand what that means. Stop struggling with Russian, guaranteed, which... Titling when you're packaging. Make sure that the titling screams the thing. I got to tell you right off the bat, if I was trying to learn Russian and I saw this, if I didn't know the word, I don't know that would bring me in. That leads me to believe this is in Russian, not that I'm going to learn to speak Russian. So be careful with that packaging. 60 seconds goes quickly, my friend. This is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. Hold on. More coffee. That'll help. More octane. I always say more octane has got to be a good way to move forward, right? Let's see. I see a super chat from 7 Series Guru. Thanks for all you do. Hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate the super chat. That means a lot, and I appreciate the kind words. Yeah, I try. Sometimes I succeed. Not always. Megan, let me find someone else. Who else are we pulling up here today? Let me see. We've got the Power of Purpose, who had a question. Is my channel art boring? I'm wondering if it's too corporate, and could you do with a background image or something to connect with my target audience? Great question. Let me pull up the Power of Purpose. And let's see what you got going on here. The Power of Purpose. Ooh, the Power of Purpose. Let me find a channel. We got to find the filter. I think there you are. All right, Megan, can you give me 60 seconds on the clock, and let's see what we can make of the Power of Purpose YouTube channel.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right, the Power of Purpose, live a life with purpose and fulfillment. I don't know that, I think that looks pretty good. I mean, I think it makes sense. I see power and purpose. The colors are a little muted, but that's okay. I think that works. It's got a good picture of you. Live a life with purpose and fulfillment. I don't know that I hate the channel. I think channel art should just say the value proposition. I should be able to land here and understand what the channel's about. I like the link that's got an email opt-in, so that makes sense. 4 amazing self-improvement books. I like most of what you got going on here. Self-improvement and personal growth, great optimized playlists. I like the thumbnails. One thing I would look at is try to pay attention to, you're still small, you're still new, you're starting to use some shorts, which is great. Look at some of the most popular stuff and see what's been connecting. 6 ways to cope with loneliness. Some of these things, if you're talking about emotions and they work, come back to that and try to dig back into that well. If there are things that your target audience is saying, we like this video more than that one, just by the velocity, the amount of views and engagement it had, try to go back to that well and make it. That was pretty good. I was pretty close to 60 seconds.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, a little coffee helped right there. Sometimes all it takes is a little extra caffeine in your system. But that was a great. I like what's going on there. Yeah, I think that's one of the things everyone should pay attention to. I think that your channel, your homepage of your channel, is your storefront. It's where people land and immediately are supposed to understand at a glance what the channel's about, who the target audience is, why they would want to watch your content. So really getting that dialed in and focused is super important. Strong channel art that lets people know just by reading it out of context what the channel is about can be super impactful for helping you gain some traction. And if you're a smaller channel, don't get too down on yourself if you're slow trying to gain traction. The way that YouTube really works is YouTube is putting your content out there, and if you're a smaller channel, you don't have a large community, so it doesn't have a lot of people it knows to send your content to and get immediate traffic data from. So it does it more slowly as it tries to figure out the right target audience to put it in front of. That's why you'll see it testing out, and sometimes some videos will spike up and down. All you want to do is keep making content, stick to your value proposition, build a catalog, and the larger you build your channel, the better you get at making videos, the more traffic data that YouTube starts gaining about these videos. And you can find that videos that maybe seemed like, why isn't this taking off? There was nothing wrong with the video. It just took YouTube longer to gain enough traffic data to decide who to put it in front of next. I've had videos when I was smaller that took 8 months from launch. They trickled, and then they exploded and started driving 500-600 views a day consistently for over a year. It just took YouTube a longer time to learn who the right audience for that content is. And we should be doing everything to help them figure out who that is by making consistent content and making sure our channels are optimized for those viewers. Let me look back in here. We're looking at the Dog Father Barbecue. Alton, my man, with the $20 super chat. Well, I'm going to be buying some steaks with that, my friend. Maybe some ribs. Maybe we'll hit the smoker this weekend with all that money you've been sending me. Hey, yo, it's good to be back, my man. What I missed over the last 6 months. Can we go over it all over it again? Well, thanks for everything. Yeah, Alton. Alton's been wrestling with some health issues, and we've been praying for him the whole time. Looks he's coming back strong now. Alton is the barbecue channel of choice. If you want to know about how to set up barbecue, smokers, backyard, everything you need to know, he's the guy, and he's one of the most successful creators in my in the Battalion memberships group. He exploded up and past his silver play button very quickly. And he's just got one of the strongest channels out there, and he's one of the nicest creators out there, just as in terms of people. So, Alton, good to see you. Thank you for the super chat, and yeah, we'll catch up. Let's do that. All right, let me find the next channel here. Genealogy with Amy Johnson Crow. Sure, that sounds good. I just got to spell it. There we go. Genealogy with Amy Johnson Crow. Let me pull this up over here, and okay, and let's see comments. Let's see. I pull this one out, and I will share my screen. And Megan, can you give me 60 seconds, please?
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, I'm looking at the channel art. Amy Johnson Crow, Discover Your Family's History, a picture of you. It's got the history pictures in the back. Love the channel art. I would say this, if you're going to put a link up in here to go to your website, use better terminology than visit my website. Try to use something that would actually make me want to visit, preferably putting an email opt-in list, because if you're going to send people off platform, make sure it's like, hey, you learn to download my free PDF on how to start, learning your family history now. So give them a reason to want to click if you're going to send them off platform, and so you're collecting emails and be able to contact people outside of YouTube. The real reason your ancestor wasn't in the well. Yeah, I like this one too. That's a strong one to put there. 9 days ago, I am subscribed, so that's your most recent content. Uploads, popular uploads. I don't like when people put this as playlists, because if I said to somebody, hey, I want to tell you about this channel, you ready? I'm going to give you a hint.
10
Uploads.
seconds.
I don't know that would help them. Popular uploads. I don't know that would help them. Try to get strong playlists right to the very top of your channel. That's what's going to help. I'm getting a little better. I'm not perfect, Megan, but I'm getting a little better at this.
You're doing all right.
You know what we got to do? We should put like a cattle prod to the bottom of my chair, so that if I do go long, you can just hit me.
I just need that for day to day.
You're right. That should be since no matter what, whether we're on air or not. Just Daniel, focus. All right, let me see here. Just kind of rolling through the chat at the same time and catching up. Any questions? Any advice for coming up in the YouTube search results? People say they can't find your channel when they search for it. Don't worry about your channel being searched for. Worry about your content being found. That's one of those things that over time YouTube actually starts learning which channel has authority, and it would recognize the name, as opposed to search terms that might be used in videos. Don't freak out about that. It's not like an automatic indexing system. YouTube is part of YouTube is a search engine, so it tries to understand what the search query is and then serve the things. You can filter if you're ever looking for a channel. By the way, let me put this up here. I think you saw me just do that. When you are searching, if you do a search, what you can do is you can filter that search. So if I put this in here and I said the word genealogy with her here, genealogy, if you look at the filters, now it's filtering for all these different things, right? So you can narrow that search down and say, well, I just want to know channels, and click on channels, and then it would just give you channels. So anyone who was technically looking to your channel pass that piece of information along, and that's how they would figure out how to find a channel, as opposed to being served everything that might relate to whatever search term or search query is going on there. All right, let me see. Let me go to the chat. Who are we pulling up next? Aaron's House of Legos. Aaron's House of Legos. I love Aaron's House of Legos. I feel like I've seen this channel recently. Maybe Dee and I looked at it. Aaron's House of Legos. Aaron's House of Legos. There it is. Okay, and I am going to put this up here. Megan, could you give me 60 seconds, please?
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, first thing I would tell you is your channel art is fuzzy. It's low resolution. Try to get high resolution pictures. If you're going to try to convince people that they should start using Legos and how great you're to follow you for the Lego guide, make sure you've got a great image, not just a simple little one. Let's get a nice high res, some really cool project that you might be doing with Legos. My Lego Pier Muck, I don't know what that means, so I can't tell you if that's important. But I do like that you have featured content here. But the same thing I'd say, uploads, popular uploads. Let's get some important playlists up here. Those don't help me understand the channel. I want to see something like, and my Lego tutorials doesn't help me either. I don't know who you are. This should be something like, if it's Lego tutorials, and it should be like how to make some of the coolest holiday Lego scenarios, dioramas available.
10 seconds.
Right? And then again, look at your thumbnails. Let's get some great images. Don't have stuff that's fuzzy and hard to read. I want high color. It's Lego. I want to see it. I want it to pop.
A second to spare.
I think that I should get a prize if I actually have time left on the clock. I should be allowed to accumulate that, and then I should be able to shock you in your chair. We can work this out, Megan.
Not sure about that one.
Yeah, that's a cool channel, man. I'm a huge fan of. One thing I will say about Aaron is, Aaron, the minute I saw your channel name and I landed on it, I knew what the channel was about. It was Legos. But one thing I think you want to consider, if you ever want to get inspiration, anyone out there, if you're trying to find inspiration for things like thumbnails or channel art, one of the things that I like to do a lot is rely on Google is really great. If you open up Google and you just type in something like Lego builds, let's do that, right? Builds, and let's see what happens. I will go over to the images tab, and then I'll start seeing, well, what looks like, what really pops out, right? Like this one here, this Lego image right there, that one's super bright, jumps out, it catches my attention. Some of these really great ones like this one, I can see the Pokemon ball. That's a really cool one too. See how that's all really making things. If you're trying to get ideas for thumbnails, I love using Google image search. Drop something in, start scooting around. I'm not saying take these, but use them for an inspiration for something you can make for your thumbnail to add color, to add something that pops, because a lot of great ideas are right there in Google image search if you're not afraid to use it. So there's a great way to improve thumbnails, channel art, things like that. Let me see. Jose on tour. Jose on tour. Jose on tour. I know Jose from Twitter. On tour. Let me see. Jose on tour. Let me find it. One thing I will say, Jose, and before I even pull this channel up, is I think that you used to have your name without any spaces on it. I think it was more like a handle, Jose on tour. And I told you to separate it at one point, like put some spaces so it's readable, and you did. So that's awesome. Right off the bat, I like when people listen to me. Megan not included. She never listens to me. She does listen to me when I say we should get a cattle prod and attach it to my chair. That she hears. Okay, Megan, could you give me 60 seconds, please?
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, Jose on tour. I see you, Jose on tour. You're standing in front of a plane. A little bit of confusion here. I would think this was like an airplane channel or following you touring. Maybe you were in, that almost looks like a military. Maybe it's a travel channel. It could be, but make sure you're screaming travel and not just airplanes. If it is a traveling channel in your adventures, let's make sure it feels like traveling. How do we represent traveling? Also, up in your channel art right here in the upper corner, I see that you have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. So you're like, hey, welcome to my channel. Now leave, go to Instagram, go to Facebook, and go to Twitter. All those things send people off platform. Don't just put those there because you can. Save those for the descriptions of your videos. Put something here that'll either be intentional or keep them on platform. I like that you have featured content. New to the tour, that's kind of cool. So this is newest uploads or something, or is it some of your
10
best
seconds.
ones? I dig that. Uploads, I would get rid of. Geography trip, try to be more engaging. Geography trip, postcards, make those titles of the playlist more engaging and compelling. I'm telling you, Megan, I'm killing it.
I need to stop giving you the 10-second warning.
I'm learning the timing. I'm learning the pacing. See, even an old dog like me can learn new tricks, Megan. I'm telling you. So, okay. All right. Hold on one second here. Here we go. I think I know who this is. Okay, let's see. This is my pal Rusty Humphreys. Celebrating America with Rusty Humphreys. Okay, all right. Megan, could you give me 60 seconds on the clock, please?
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, I do know a little bit about this channel. My pal Rusty, who I've done some one-on-one coaching with, we've been playing around with the channel title. The name of the channel itself, is it Celebrating America, Rusty, or is it actually Exploring America? Because this sounds like, celebrating sounds like it's more about the facts of America, and I know that you do things like you're finding bathrooms, trying out different locations, sort of exploring more than you're celebrating, but, you know, let's not, this can give a weird political connotation that could give people the wrong idea and turn as many people off as it does turn them on. So make sure it's true to what this is, a travel channel. Celebrating America, right? So I do like that, but then it's celebrating America, exploring Las Vegas. This is a lot better. If this was exploring America and then you had the different places that you were exploring, it would make a lot more sense to me. Right now it's disjointed. I do like that you've got a very colorful thumbnails, but I would tell you this, some of these are better than others. Watch how much text you use and that make sure it's readable. When they overwhelm the thumbnail, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Don't feel... Stop. Cattle prod, Megan. I went long. Like where it's heading, though, Rusty. I do like where this channel is heading. So I'm looking forward to see you just keep growing with what you're doing and perfecting it. Let me see here. Okay, back into the chat. Back into the chat. I gotta tell you though, it's hard to speak this fast. I mean, I'm a pretty quick talker, but this is fast. I'm gonna have to start keeping it like a coffee IV. Just drip right into my vein here. Let's see. Who do we have? There was a question from Honey and Mel. Need help with their thumbnails and titles. I'm told by viewers that my videos are well edited and interesting and that I should have more subs. How do I improve that at first grab? Okay, well, let's look Honey and Mel.
It's actually Honey and Me. I just could not get the space between the I and the me.
Oh, okay, Honey and Me. Well, that's different. Sorry, Mel. Wherever Mel is, Mel's out of the picture. Honey and Me. See, I can tell you right now, there is no Mel. It's just Honey. He used to be in the camper, but Mel's gone. Sorry, Mel. Got to keep on your toes around here. Okay, let's do this. Give me 60 seconds on the clock.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, you were talking about titles and thumbnails, so let's start there. When I'm looking at this, Eternabon, how to remove it. Do people really know that much about? I don't know that particular topic. I'm giving my Toyota motorhome a facelift. How to poop and pee in a car camper. That one got 1,400 views in a month. That one actually did pretty well. First car camping experience. This did 2,300 views. This is the kind of content you want to lay on. When you're talking about this kind of thing like RV trips, tips, trips, and projects, make sure that you're bringing story into it. My first camping experience did 2,300 views because people out there who have never tried it before can relate to you trying it for the first time and getting out there. So try to speak to the viewer. Anything you build, I think that you can do better thumbnails. These look like screen captures or a grab from inside of it. Get a great thumbnail. This is much better when you start getting pictures of yourself, but some of these feel like they were kind of grabbed a little low res. Try to give something that really experiences great ideas, that really captures that first camping experience.
Sorry, I didn't give you the warning on that one.
See, this is what happens. Right back. See this? Now she's playing with me. Now she's like, you get no 10-second warning. Yeah, let me stay there for 1 second. I like this first car camping experience. One of the things I've been talking to creators about recently is being compelling. You got to remember that sometimes people get wrapped up in the idea that YouTube is just a search engine, and it is a search engine. But the vast majority of views, over 70% of views every day on YouTube, don't come from search. They come from recommendation, which means YouTube took a video, put it in front of people, and then they decided if they wanted to watch it without having searched for it. So you have to really think about, what is the viewer thinking? Someone who's never, like in this case, someone who's never been camping or is interested in maybe trying RVing. So things like, going on a camping experience for the first time. Speaking to those viewers and things that might worry them, where they might have to poop and pee if they're out on a camping trip. These are things that will connect, and you can see it in your views. So anyone out there who's got a channel, look at which content does better, and then don't go, oh, that did well, I'll make something else. Understand why the content on your channel did well, why it connected with people. If it was true to your value proposition, learn from that and then start figuring out how you can come back to that and do more compelling stories and commentary that deal with those buckets or those pillars underneath your value prop. Trying things for the first time, figuring out how to go to the bathroom, experiences of being on the road if you're a camper and where you might want to, where the best places to camp are, or where the worst places to camp are. My worst camping experience ever could be just as compelling as the best place to camp. If you're just thinking search, you don't always think story, and sometimes the worst thing can also be its own highly compelling piece of content. Let's see where we're at. Celebrating America with Rusty Humphreys, $10 super chat. Thank you very much, my friend. I really appreciate it. Thank you for your input and help, improving with thanks to your insight. It's great to have you as part of our group, our battalion membership group. We do have a battalion membership group under all of our videos. If you see, there is a join button, and if it's available in your region, there are some countries it's not. You can hit that. You can join. And we do have a private Facebook group, so if you join, you go over to the members tab of my channel, and it has all the links under the perks where you can join our private Facebook group where we do this kind of thing all the time. Rusty, thank you again. Much appreciated, my friend. I do want to take a second here to quickly thank the people who make these kind of streams possible.
This live stream is sponsored in part by StreamYard, live streaming made simple. And by Spreadshop, the #1 resource for all of your print-on-demand needs.
So if you want to try either StreamYard to make live streams that look just like this, or you want to make your own merch, I've got links down below where you can try both for absolutely nothing. Get set up and get going. Thank you to our sponsors for helping us make this happen. Okay, in the chat, I'm going to pull up another one. Vagabond. Wow, these names are tough to read. Vagabond Session? Yeah, sure. I think that's it. Vagabond. Sachin. Sachin. It's a name? Vagabond Sachin? Okay. I'm sorry if I said that wrong. My pronunciation sometimes is terrible. I think I found the channel. I think this is it. Okay. Give me 60 seconds on the clock, Megan.
3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, one of the first things I will tell you is this channel art needs improvement. I don't know what anything is up here. You've got a giant YouTube play button. I know I'm on YouTube. You don't need that. You've got a font that's not sans serif and it's cursive. It makes it hard to read. Not all who wander are lost. You're quoting things. I guess this is about traveling around. I'm not exactly sure, but make that clear. You've got multiple images that don't make a lot of sense. Pull this together. This is the thing that will make people understand in an instant what this channel's about. As I go down, I'm glad that you have a trailer, but even naming it trailer seems silly. I understand that. You don't have to put trailer. Put a piece of content here that makes sense. If it's for a new visitor, preferably something that has high conversion rates. Just pick something from your catalog that people tend to subscribe more often when they watch that video. Great to put there. Again, uploads. I don't like uploads. It is the
10
default
seconds.
playlist for channels who have not done any customization yet. You don't have any other playlist here, so put stuff that will help me understand what the channel is. Session. I'm sorry. I'll get it. I'll figure this name out. Megan, get me my dictionary. I'm so bad at pronouncing names. Yeah, people really think about that value proposition. When you hear me use the word value proposition, a value proposition is something that each and every one of you should have. And it's a simple sentence that should explain really quickly what I call the 3 W's of YouTube. The first W is what? What's your channel about? Niche. What niche is it? Is it a cooking channel? Is it a travel channel? Is it a music channel? Is it a horoscope or tarot card reading channel? That's something that I should understand in an instant. The second W is who. Who is your target audience? And when I say who is your target audience, I don't mean demographics. I don't mean, men between the age of 18. If that's not what I mean. Your target audience is based on interest. What conversation does your channel serve that those people also have an interest in, okay? And the last W is why. Why would they watch your content? Not just as opposed to anything that's similar to it if they found it in search, but because most views come from recommendation, why would they watch that video as opposed to anything else they might be interested in, which is going to be served to them on like the YouTube homepage? All different types of content are going to get served based on their interest and based on what's trending. How are you going to stand out? How are you going to make people go, those other videos are cool, but I want to watch this one right now? That's the trick that you really need to work on. In my instance, my value proposition is I help creators who want to make videos, put them up onto YouTube, and then grow an audience around that content. Really simple. I understand, people can understand who I'm trying to reach. Demographics, doesn't matter if you're male, female, how old you are, where you live. Anyone interested in making content, putting it onto YouTube and trying to grow an audience and build a channel, you're my target audience. That should be simple and understandable when I come to your channel, Session. I should be able to know in an instant what the value is in it for me. Let me look what's going on in the chat here. I see Ruth. Whoop. What do we have? Oh, Tamara Simons, real estate mentor. Tamara Simons, real estate mentor, became a YouTube member. Okay, this is what I want you to do, Tamara. Go over to my channel, and you will see that there is a memberships tab. So if you go to my channel and you scroll over to the memberships tab right here, you will see that there are perks. If you click on that and show the info, that will show you, I'm not going to show because it has the room link for our private memberships group. Click on that, and there's also a Facebook group. Even if you hate Facebook, join for just this reason alone. All you have to do is when you let me know what your actual channel is, and we will get you right in. And that group is fantastic. We do channel growth strategies in there every day of the week, and I think it's the best place for creators who are trying to grow their channels, because in our group, we have a huge success rate. People hitting 10,000 subscribers is like a daily occurrence in there. People really getting focused and starting to grow and understand how to reach their target audience. So welcome aboard. I'm glad to have you here. I'm going to pull up this other one. Ruth Cam's or Ruth Cham's journey. I bet you that's Cam's. I'm hoping.
That's an O. Ohms. Ohms?
Oh, okay. I cannot read today. I thought that was a C. Why is this so small? I can't read anything. Wait a second. Hang on. Okay, hold on here. Let's that.
Get the glasses.
Oh, well, there it is. Come to find out, it's me. Okay, but it's Ruth Ohm's Journey. There's more than one. Ruth Ohm's Journey. It looks like I'm seeing two channels, both. Okay, so I got to get the right one. Journey. There we go. All right. Is my chair really squeaky today? It feels very squeaky. Okay. This is the channel. Megan, could you give me 60 seconds, please?
3, 2, 1. Go.
Okay, Ruth Owen's Journey, tools for building influence and revenue on YouTube. Cool, that makes a lot of sense. New videos every week. I'm not a big fan of all that stuff. I get it. If you're going to put new videos every week, then do it. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, get rid of all that stuff. None of that needs to be here if you're trying to grow a channel. Save that for somewhere else. Let's keep people on platform. Get them watching, keep them watching. I would use a much better picture of yourself, and I would also use something more than just a gradient black. I get it. I think it makes sense, but you can do more with it. Is it retention increases that increases revenue on YouTube 4 days ago? I see what you're doing. You're living in the YouTube growth space. It's one of the hardest spaces to grow in. I can tell you personally, there's a lot of competition. There's a lot of things that have been made. If you're going to make content doing that, you need to find a better angle, not just try to make the videos that have already been made. I will tell you that right now. You've got to bring something new to the game. So figure out what it is that hasn't been talked about or a new angle that compels people to want to get in there and listen to you and make those videos and those types.
That was pretty good.
I tell you, it's the 10. What it is when you give me the 10 seconds left, it's like I'm sussing that out. When you take that away, it's like me trying to bowl without the little guardrail things, and the ball just goes right into the gutter. Leslie the Bird Nerd. Leslie the Bird Nerd became a member, YouTube member. Leslie, I hope you heard what I just said. Go to my memberships tab. Welcome aboard. Go to the memberships tab. You'll see the perks. Open up the perks. Not only will you see all the content that you can get, but you'll start seeing links to members only where we do live streams that are for members only. And we have the Facebook group that you definitely want to join. Get in there and we'll make sure you get entrance. Just make sure it tells you what to do when you click the link. Put your channel URL so we can verify you. But you're going to love it. I appreciate you becoming a member and welcome aboard to the battalion. Battalion, that's our name. Isn't that clever? But because my name's Batal.
You're so clever, Dan.
Getting old. Bad jokes don't work as well over the internet as they do with my son. Actually, they don't work with my son either. So, all right, let's see. The next one I have is, okay, is that Dipstick 1? Is that what I see? I hope I read that right. I took my glasses off. That was a huge mistake. Dipstick 1.
It's just D-Stick 1.
What is it?
D-Stick 1.
D-Stick 1. Just
put the glasses back on.
What am I doing? D-Stick. I will find it. D-Stick 1. What? Why is it D-Stick 1? Okay. All right. Megan, let me put this up. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you a dipstick. I don't know that D-Stick is any better, but if I have unintentionally insulted you, my friend, I apologize. Megan, give me 10 seconds, would you?
3, 2, 1, go.
All right, the first thing I'll tell you is looking at this channel art, if I look very closely, it does seem to be some kind of a diving or fishing channel. I do see fish. I see you underwater. But all of these words and the colors and the slants, I have no idea. Improve this channel art. Get one great picture and make it nice, and likes and comments are free. Please subscribe. You are being what we call an asshole, my friend. I haven't even done anything yet, and you're asking me to like, you're asking me to comment, you're asking me to subscribe, if I can even read it because the colors are all over the place. Stick true to the value proposition. If this is all about fishing and spear fishing, then get me a great shot of you spear fishing and have it I would change the name of this channel immediately. D-Stick 1 was, you saw me wrestle with it. So it's something more memorable. Either your name, if you want to, yourself as a brand, or push the idea of the branding of actual spear fishing. I do like that you have spear fishing free dives, the spear fishing playlist, but get them more optimized. Use great imagery and great description. I'm sorry, I was still giggling from calling him a dipstick. It took me a minute to find my groove there, but I hope I picked it up at the end. I will say this, you know what? Channels like this always intrigue me because this could be, it's got over 1,000 subscribers. Congratulations on that. This could be phenomenal. If this is in fact a spear fishing channel, let me read the about. Spear fishing entertainment with a quirky sense of humor. Don't tell me that. Don't tell me who you are, right? Tell me, to give me something you should have done. You should have gotten rid of this and started with, I love this thing. I love free diving. You should have said spear fishing. spearfishing, freediving, and being under the water, catching and feeding and filming all the gifts we get to share, right? Start off by that, lets them know who you are. And then go into something like, if you have those same interests and want to learn more about all of the above, join me weekly where I'll be covering all my spearfishing and free diving adventures, right? Something, keep it simple. Make it clear what's in it for the viewer. You're interested in learning about or following down these adventures in spearfishing and free diving? Then make that clear up in the channel art. Make that clear in your About tab. Make it easy for the viewer to understand, because they are not going to give you the time of day to read all these things. If I landed on that channel and the first thing I saw was like and comment and subscribe, I'd be like, yeah, no thanks. How many of you in the chat, answer me honestly right now, how many of you in the chat have ever been watching a channel that you were mildly interested in or didn't really know, and they said, hey, please subscribe, and you went, oh, stop everything, I'm subscribing right now, because they told you to. Not because the content was good, because you heard them say, you need to subscribe. You went, that's it, I'm now subscribing. If you have, say yes or give me a thumbs up. If you haven't, if you're like, nah, I never do that, I subscribe because I like the comments, I like the content, then give me a no, I don't. I rely on the content. I want to get a feel. Yeah, I'm looking right here, and never. Like right here, Hybrid Street Steel, Mike says never. Tejas Gupta Music says never. Right here, Leslie the Bird Nerd, never. Genealogy with Amy Johnson Crow says nope. Right down the line. Drew Project, nope, no. I got no from Mastag. I've got the most important thing in here. Hey, Daniel. No, never, mainly gameplays. This is what I'm saying. Listen, these are real people here in the chat who are not only creators, but they're YouTube audiences. They watch content too. I watch content. So wasting time and asking for things like, hey, tell them to subscribe, that's an old school thing from way back in the day where people didn't really know you could subscribe to channels. So YouTube used to tell us, hey, remind people they can hit a subscribe button, when being a subscriber was more important than it is today. Just give them the content. Get to the thing. Whatever the promise of the thumbnail and the title is, give them that. Whatever the promise of the channel and the value prop is, put that in your homepage channel art. Don't forget about all that other stuff. Get all that asking for stuff out of the way. No one wants to deal with an asshole. All right, who do we have next? Let me go into the chat here. We have, let me see. Right here, I've got one. Speaking of Tejas Gupta Music, YT, I'm going to go to Tejas Music. I'm going to get it right. Tejas Gupta Music YT. Okay. Oh, all right. Let me start here. Oh, a fine-looking young man. Look at this. What a handsome young fella he is. All right, here we go. Megan, could you give me 60 seconds, please?
3, 2, 1, go.
Tejas Gupta Music YT. I will tell you one thing. They know they're on YouTube. You don't need to put the YT. I would have gotten rid of it. It's an extra word that just distracts from what you're trying to do. I like that you have a subscribe link up in your channel art, but is it an auto-subscribe link? If I click it, it just recycles. No, you've got it. Auto-subscribe, and I'm going to subscribe. You just gained a subscriber, my friend. So very well done. I like that. Guitar and piano music covers. One thing I can say is I could read this, but I would probably put an outline. That red gets lost into the background because there's so many colors. So make sure you're using a font and a color, or putting an outline, maybe a white outline around those letters so it lets them stick out so I can read it. But I like what's going on. Don't be afraid to put a picture of you up there. If you're the person that's in every video, get your face up there so people can see you too. Guitar covers, be more compelling than just guitar covers. You should say something like, some of the coolest guitar covers you can play with only 3 chords. And that way people start being compelled to want to watch a playlist. Playlists can show up in search, and they can be served on the homepage in browse. So make sure that those titles are compelling. But I like what's going on here. I like it. I'm gonna add one thing for everybody out there. If you're doing guitar, like an example, whatever the thing is that's happening in your content, make sure that that's easy to understand at a glance. When I look at this, the amount of real estate that is him playing the guitar versus the amount of text, and then the amount of green that you're giving away so much real estate. One tip that I would give everybody when it comes to making thumbnails, you only have a tiny amount of space to create an impression and make that thumbnail. So use the whole thing. Try to not leave a lot of empty space unless specifically it makes sense for that instance. But if you've got all that real estate, don't shrink things down and make them hard to see. Get them up front. Get some compelling imagery. Don't just put blank colors, because it doesn't really help sell what that is, the messaging of what's in that video and why someone would want to watch. So get them right up there, okay? Let me see what's going on here. We've got Going Crazy in the Kitchen asks, I really don't want to be a pro. I love that, by the way. Not everybody who comes to YouTube wants to be a pro. But I have extremely hard to grow. You found it extremely hard to grow at all. The only ones looking are my friends plus family. Is my channel not exposed at all? Does it look that uninteresting? Well, Going Crazy in the Kitchen. Let's take a look. I'll let you know. In the kitchen. Usually it's my cat who's going crazy in the kitchen. All right. Megan, let me pull this up, and can you give me 60 seconds, please?
3, 2, 1, go.
The very first thing I'll tell you is the channel art doesn't say a lot to me. It's got a picture of some peppers, and that is it. So let's get the channel name up there smaller, and let's explain what it is you do. Not all cooking channels are the same. Not all, and I assume this is cooking. It says Going Crazy in the Kitchen. I assume that means cooking. I would probably avoid all caps too. YouTube has said to us they do not like all caps. But at least I understand. I would think this is a channel that's about cooking. How I made gourmet tomato sauce with no electricity. I don't know that. I don't know that thumbnail sells to me. It's got a picture of the cabin. I wouldn't know in an instant that this was about cooking. So the mistake here is messaging is incorrect. You focused on no electricity, but you didn't focus on the tomatoes, the tomato sauce. That was the important part. This is one that's got a picture of a dog. How would I know that this is cooking? Preparing the next episode in Thunder, Italian tomato.
10 seconds.
This does not speak to me. The problem here is you have to start making compelling thumbnails that get people to understand the food. It's about the food. Put the food forward. I'm gonna pat myself on the back for that one. I nailed it. Listen, we're not gonna have to stop at the cattle prod store later on if I keep going like this, Megan.
I mean, we still can.
People are going to get the wrong idea about our relationship. Facts OP. Am I reading that right? Sure. Okay. So my question is about my channel that I have made my thumbnails look better. So what's going wrong with my channel? He's now Facts OP, maybe it's OP. Facts OP says, I'm crushing it. I got great thumbnails. You got to tell me why my channel's not growing. Let me see if I can find it. There is an OP Facts channel that has 1.8 million subscribers. Right off the bat, I would tell you one of the problems, I don't know what Facts OP is, but if you're up against a almost 2 million subscriber channel that's verified with an almost similar name, that would be like me making a channel called Piety Pew. Sometimes you gotta watch where the competition is and make sure that your channel is unique. So right off the bat, I'm going to tell you that I would have a problem just based on that. Facts OP, Megan, I didn't see the. Can you tell me if this is the channel based on? Let me pull it up here. I want to make, because I can't see his avatar. Is this the one? Is it gray with a lightning bolt, red lightning bolt?
That's it.
Okay, perfect. All right. Give me 60 seconds.
3, 2, 1, go.
I'll tell you right off the bat, when I say Facts OP, Facts Teller, Facts OP, I don't know what this channel's about. I don't know what it means. Doesn't mean anything to me. There's all kinds of facts in the world. I can talk to you facts about how they make humbucker pickups versus single coil pickups on guitars. Is that the kind of facts you're going to tell me? I have no idea what this is about. Way too broad in terms of trying to tell me what the value prop is. When I get into the videos, I see things like why CH statues not allowed, why Chinese people eats anything, not even proper English. Political, so you're talking about different, all sorts of subjects. This is topic. The problem here, you've got some in English, you've got some in Hindi, I'm guessing, probably Hindi, could be wrong. I know that that in a lot of countries they do speak English and Hindi at the same time, but this is all over the place. Your main problem, you're not being consistent. You're trying to serve too many people at once. Figure out who your target audience is, why they would want to come back every week. We can serve them the same type of content about the same conversation. Yeah. That was, I wish I had 67 seconds there. I'm going to be I'll tell you right off the bat, you're telling me that your thumbnails are great, and I don't want to discourage anybody who's been working on their thumbnails. Keep working on them. I'll tell you right here, there is so much going on. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to let the people in the chat respond. Tell me, if you saw this thumbnail, and I'm using a magnifying glass on desktop, if you saw this thumbnail on the homepage of YouTube, would you have any idea what it's about? Yes or no? I mean, if you just saw this, would you go, oh, I know exactly what this is? Top 10 facts. There's a emoji in the corner with his head blowing off. There's fireworks, microwave warning, a top boom. There's a, it's like without a microscope, me personally, I'm having a lot of trouble here. I'm having a lot of trouble trying to realize exactly what this one is about. Let me go into the chat. No idea. Jamie Crow says, no idea. I don't know what that is. Brown Gal Peace Lounge says, too busy. Absolutely. I think it's far too busy. Iggy from This Bites For You, the best PC building channel on the YouTube platform, says, nope. And he would know. iCast Entertainment, no idea. Drew Project, not at all. So listen, we're not trying to insult you. We're trying to give you tips from the outside to help you understand. Everybody, when you build thumbnails, make them easy to understand, make them clear, make them simple. Try to not overcomplicate them by putting everything you possibly can in there. Simplify them. Make them easy for the viewer to understand what the content's about, who the target audience is, and why they would want to watch this video. Think about that every time you build content, all right? Strong content that always serves the same audience, the same value proposition, and makes it easy for them to understand. If I were someone who was interested in finding a guitar channel, like we saw one earlier, that would teach me guitar, right? You know, I should have said that when I pulled up the other one. It was guitar and piano. That was one of the things on the previous channel we pulled up when it was Gupta Music Channel. He's trying to teach piano and guitar. Those are two different people, two different audiences, right? Try to make content that serves a singular audience. People who are interested in learning how to play guitar, that's my audience. Perfect. Why would they watch your channel? Give them a reason. Maybe you're trying to teach them how to play just guitar solos, right? My channel is all about teaching how to play rip and lead guitar solos like some of the greatest guitar players out there, Jimmy Page, Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton. You want to learn how to play lead guitar like a pro? On the channel for you, right? And maybe you just focus on that. And with each day, you make a video that's like how to learn how to play all the way up and down the neck on the guitar, how to learn how to play blues style lead guitar, how to learn to play, more like a heavy metal style lead guitar, and you start figuring out how to make compelling content that talks about the different aspects of lead guitar. Being very specific in that way and understand who you're serving week after week is the most important thing in the world. If you're all over the place and you make it hard for them to understand and you think your thumbnails are great just because they have a lot of color, that's not going to do it. It's about clarity. You know what a great thumbnail is? Not one that looks great, one that is effective. One that when you put it up, people click and they watch your content. That's a great thumbnail. Let me see. Let me go back into the chat here. Let's see. We have Blaine Locklear. Thank you, Blaine. Good to see you for the $5 super chat. I appreciate that, my friend. Also one of our battalion members. Hi, Daniel. Was editing a video and stopped by YouTube to verify a data point. Your live stream was on the homepage. Thanks for all you do. See that? This is what it is, right? The reason that Blaine was able to find my content is because I've made content in the past that he's engaged with. And that means that when he opens up YouTube, my content ends up right on the homepage because he's part of my target audience. He's someone who tries to make videos, put them onto YouTube, and grow a YouTube channel. So he chose to click because it was put in front of them, and he's also a good guy, too. I always like that my friends come by here and support me there. That's very nice of you, Blaine. And thank you for the super chat. But yeah, that's the kind of thing, right? Always think about making content that gets put in front of people, is surrounded by other videos that have nothing to do with your content, and that yours stands out and that yours grabs their attention for whatever reason, whether they've known you because of other content they've watched, or whether it's if they more likely than not, usually what happens is your channel grows fastest when it's served to people who have no idea who you are. So make sure that content is simple, clear, and easy for the viewer to understand. Gravity G. Hey, Daniel, any advice for an upcoming travel channel? I mainly try to focus on cruising content. One video has gotten over 5,000 views. Congratulations. But the rest are under 500. Well, let's take a look at your channel, Gravity G. Let me find it. Gravity G. Did I spell it right? Gravity with 2 E's. There's 2 channels called Gravity G. What are the chances of that? Let me go. All right, let me pull this up, Megan, and could you give me 60 seconds, please?
3, 2, 1, go.
Same thing I would tell you, Gravity G. All you've got is your channel name up here. I don't know what the channel's about just by the channel art. Let's make sure that it screams travel, and let's get some imagery of travel up there, right? You got one that did really well. I'll tell you why it did really well from the outside is you did a Norwegian Bliss ship tour. That is your audience telling you, we really like it when you show us what it's like. If you're doing cruises, show us what the ships are like. Give us an insider's view. So if we're going to book a cruise, you help us decide whether that's the kind of ship that we might want to book a tour on. That one even shows it. Norwegian Bliss, great shot of the ship. I wish it was a little closer, but I think it's great. It's got a great image, easy to understand. This, one step at a time, don't know what that means. This, you just holding your hands up, no idea what that is. Welcome to Cabo, a little better, but it doesn't really speak cruise. You said you're all about cruising, so let's focus on the cruise elements. And you're still new. It looks like you don't have a ton of videos up here so far. Yeah, 4. Give it time, my man. You're brand new. Stick with the stuff that you have. You know something? I love seeing channels with 4 videos. Listen, I want to say this to anyone out there who's just getting started. Don't expect instant success. It takes time to build a channel. One of the things that people forget about is that YouTube, when you have a successful video like this one, the Norwegian Bliss ship tour from 2022, it's 3 months old, drilled 5,100 views for a 67 subscriber channel. Brand new, small, only 4 videos on the channel. That is phenomenal. You did a great job there. And your target audience is telling you, we like it when you show us the different ships. Please do that again. That's what they're telling you. But give yourself some credit here. When that thing took off, one of the first things that YouTube will think about is, do you have another similar type of piece of content that we can serve to that viewer? But you're brand new, so you don't have a really deep catalog. It's almost like if you were a farmer and you sold... you had a farm stand, and out front you sold, like, you have a bushel of tomatoes, and someone says, these tomatoes are great. What else do you have? And you go, nothing. I got tomatoes. That's all I have. Well, you don't have enough depth in your catalog for them to go down the viewing rabbit hole and get YouTube to start recommending more of your content. So keep building. Keep building. Typically, you're going to need to build 50 to 100 videos before you really start getting in your flow of knowing how to create better content, connecting with the target audience, making enough videos that have some data behind them, traffic data that YouTube knows to recommend them. I would tell you, you're doing great. You're doing great. Dial it in. Do the things that are working repeatedly. Go back to those ship tours, really explain. People, if you want to talk about cruises, make sure you're thinking like the viewer. What is someone who wants to take a cruise? What's in their head? And then give them more of that. Let's see. I am going back into the chat, and I've got Leslie the Bird. Leslie the Bird Nerd says, question. I've been struggling with new video ideas, thumbnails, and titles lately, and my channel has been suffering because of it. Any ideas? Well, Leslie the Bird Nerd, let's look. Oh, nerd. Okay, Leslie the Bird Nerd. And I did look at this channel. This is one we saw recently. Let me pull this up. I loved it. I love the simplicity of it. She's done very well. She's over 180,000 subscribers. I'm glad to see you back here again because I think you have a great channel, real simple and easy to understand. But I can't say anything. I'm going to let Megan put 60 seconds on the clock, and we'll take a look.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right, Leslie the Bird Nerd, struggling with titles. Let's look at that specifically, titles and thumbnails. What I would tell you is it looks like you are leveraging a lot of search. 5 cool and fascinating things chickadees can do. Is bird watching good for your health? Is bread bad for... All right, so it's very specific things. I would tell you, think about building not just for search, build for recommendation. Do things like really focus on not necessarily being something that's searchable, but compelling. Some of the rarest birds that you'll ever see in North America, right? It's not necessarily something that's searchable, but you talk about the largest birds, the most voracious birds, the the territorial birds. Do things that really compel the viewer that they go, I don't know which one it is. Tell me. Top 5, you got 5 fascinating things. But think about compelling. What's something people don't know about birds that would go, oh, now I want to know which bird is the craziest, which is the most vicious, which is the most subtle, or which is the most common. 60 seconds go by too quick sometimes. Yeah. Do we have Leslie in group? I don't know if she
just joined today.
Just joined. All right, Leslie. My mission to you, my friend, is to come to the battalion membership. Go to and ask for permission on the link to get into our Facebook group, and let's pick this conversation up with your channel more, because I love channels of your size that are trying to find that way to propel to the next level. And we've been covering this conversation specifically in group recently with one of my other coaching clients who's just blowing up. She's driving hundreds of thousands of views for every new video. She's got a great strategy for creating titles and creating compelling packaging. So definitely come into the group, all right? Listen, we're about at that time now. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out today. Thank you for all these super chats that we've gotten today. Thank you for everyone who let me look at their channels. We're going to be doing this probably once a month, so I'll make sure I'll let everyone know when we do it again. Thank you to the lovely and talented Megan Larson for keeping me in check and not cattle prodding me too much, hopefully, in the future. And we'll catch all of you guys. We'll catch you again soon.